Hey everyone, it's Zack Childress here.
And Sam Bell.
And listen, we've got some great information for you on tonight's training. You're going to be getting a total exposure to what the internet has to offer. Me and Sam has came together to put some cutting-edge training for you, but this isn't it. This is just part one of part two. But first, before we get started, a lot of you may know who I am, but I wanted you guys to know who Sam Bell is. Sam's going to be teaching you guys all about SEO, organic traffic, traffic sources that most people wouldn't even know existed. I mean, this guy's like the ninja when it comes to finding traffic to get to your site, no matter what type of business you own. He's the guy you guys want to hang out because he's coming up next to hear everything he's got to say.
Absolutely. And for those of you that are on the call that do not know who Mr. Zack Childress is, Mr. Zack Childress is Mr. Automation. I mean, when it comes to using social media and optimizing for your brand and automating that whole process, he is the go-to guy. So I'm very thrilled to actually have him on the call, and you guys are going to get an absolute ton of content and training that you can go out there and take action on and start getting results. So this is a lot of good stuff. So if you haven't already done so, get out your pen and paper and get ready to hear what Zack is getting ready to drop on you.
Cool. Sam, listen, I appreciate that because here's where we're going to start, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of the power of a duo call here. So we're going to start with social media branding. And guys, for those of you who aren't using this, I just want to kind of reach to the phone and give you a quick shake around, you know what I mean? Just give you a big bear hug because you need to be using social media to brand yourself. This is all about traffic exposure from social media. See, people say, well, I'm not into all that social media lifestyle. You don't have to be. That's not what social media needs to be for you, and I get that. But here's what it does need to be. It needs to be a platform for your business. Okay, you need to have exposure through your business, through the social media networks to drive that traffic to your business, which creates that brand, okay? So what is social media branding all about? Well, here's some of the things that we're going to talk about. What is social media? For those of you who are just getting involved in social media and you're jumping on the bandwagon, let's explain why you should be on that bandwagon. We're also going to talk about why do I need it? What's the biggest reason that you should be engaging into social media and being on that bandwagon? And what are the big five? Listen, social media is not all about every other social site that pops up. There's 5 main sites that you want to be part of. I'm also going to go over setting them up and why that's going to be probably the most important part of my section of part 1 training here. Now, don't forget, there's part 2 also. There's part 2 of part 1 and part 2 coming later also. Don't want to confuse you guys, but Sam's going to come back on for part 2 of this training, but we also have another training that you guys are going to be part of as well. Also, I'm going to go into getting traffic using social media. And social media is so huge for small businesses right now. I'm telling you why. Because we're able to use social media to grow our client list so fast and be able to build funnels through social media and to get that traffic that we need. Also, the power of backlinks and why they're important for your social media power web. Also, we're going to go into cutting or putting content on them. You know, I know what a lot of you are thinking, oh man, you got to write on social media and write on that. I got to talk about my dog ran away. No, that's not what it's about. Social media can be powerful, but it's also got more power to it than you even realize when you start to automate it, okay? We want to automate as much of the social media lifestyle as we can, and that's how we create that instant brand that we're looking for. So let's kind of pull out the dictionary here, right? Don't get nervous at my screen, but I figured that we need to get an in-depth look at what social media really is. So social media are media for social interaction, usually highly accessible and scalable publishing techniques. See, the key there is scalable publishing techniques, okay? Our social media uses web-based technology to transform and broadcast media into the social media dialogues. Now, here's what most of you may not understand, but businesses also refer to social media as a consumer-generated media, CGM, and that's why we use it to the ability that we do. The other reason why you need to be on social media is because we're living in the period of attention age. We all have ADD, whether we want to realize it or not. And so when 80% of the population carries ADD and you're writing this 3-page blog about your company, they're getting through the 2 paragraphs and they're moving on. And so this is why social media has become such a fad across the nation, okay? And obviously, it's a common thread running through all definitions of social media is a blending of technology and social interaction for the co-creation of value. And that's what you want to be as a business owner. You want to be the creation of value that your company offers the public. And so we're able to use that through these threads to create a viral effect across our local community or on a national level. So why do you need it? Well, let's just be honest here. Social media has become one of the biggest platforms for marketing yourself and your business, okay? It is one of the fastest ways to generate leads for your REI business, which is real estate investors, or your general business, whether you're selling, books on how to potty train your children, or whether you're selling books on the latest golf techniques, or whether you're a brick and mortar that's trying to bring clientele in because you're a dentist or a chiropractor. Social media is very targeted in its searches, and that's why it's such a powerhouse to any small business owner out there right now. And the best part about this is it's not that complicated to understand it, but what we have to do for you is teach you how to use it, okay? Because when you integrate what we know as internet marketing or internet traffic, social media is just an umbrella underneath that platform. And when Sam Bell comes on, he's going to break down some crazy internet marketing strategies for you guys. But just know that social media is also a tool that you need to be using. Maybe you won't get as much traffic from it as, say, some of the techniques that Sam's going to share with you, but it's going to be the very first platform to create that brand for your business, okay? So here's what else you need to be thinking about. Branding yourself is the biggest thing about being a business expert, okay? To become that expert, we need to be known as that brand in our community or on a national level or on an international level. So if I'm the golf swinging coach expert, then through social media, I can brand myself as a golf swinging coach instantly by creating that complete platform throughout that social media network, and then using the internet marketing strategies to drive traffic either through my social media to be able to create my clientele list or through an opt-in or a landing page, then I am the expert at that point. And so whether you're in the real estate world and you want to be the best agent, or whether you're a real estate investor and you want to find buyers to buy deals from you or sellers to sell you deals, you need to be that expert. Or whether or not you're setting up shop to be a dentist in the area, well, you want to be known as the expert in your niche, and that's why it's so important. It's also the cheapest form of marketing for leads. Let's just compare it to direct mail newspaper. Well, if you're doing direct mail, you know as well as I do, the direct mail will take you broke. Let's just be honest. It will take you absolute broke if you're doing it at a high level. And the worst part is once you send that direct mail out, there's no way to change that marketing piece, right? Same way with newspaper. Once you've printed your ad, it's out there. You can't change it. You can't rotate the image. You can't do anything to it. Well, that's the beauty of social media is when we run advertisement on Facebook and YouTube and MySpace and LinkedIn, we're able to adjust that marketing piece every single day until it gets the best response. See, that's where a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, well, if I create a Facebook account or have a Twitter running and a LinkedIn profile and a MySpace page and a YouTube channel, that I've done everything I need to do. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is absolutely wrong, okay? Because it's not everything that you need to do. The idea is to set those platforms up so that you are the brand in those areas, but then you have to strategically start doing your advertising. See, advertising on social media is really the secret behind social media. Now, here's the best part. If you're a real estate investor on this call, which I'm sure a lot of my students are, you're going to be able to build your buyers list super fast by pulling out the advertising platforms inside of social media, and you're going to be able to start doing what we call co-wholesaling partners super fast as well. The other side of it is, as a professional in your industry, you're also going to be able to build your power team. Whether you're a professional inside the real estate space or professional inside, any other market out there, let's say that you're trying to get into the info business and you want to start creating products online and start selling those products online, which obviously is another avenue of income. That's why I own a publishing company, is because we have a publishing business that we publish products online and we sell them in the open market. Well, to do any of that, you have to have a power team, whether it's to sell information products or whether it's to be a real estate investor. And the best part about social media is this is where all those people kind of congregate together, and you have groups of professionals. For instance, as a real estate professional, you could go to LinkedIn and build a power team so super fast. I'm talking faster than you could even imagine, really. And on top of that, if you're trying to get into the info business, you can go into, like Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and start building your power team of people you need, like copywriters, designers, graphic people, programmers, web guys, assistants, virtual assistants, all these people you need to put that product out into the open market. So these are just some of the things on why do you need it, okay? And you need to think really hard about the benefits of it. But let me break down for you what I call the big 5 social media, okay? Now, can you go and pull up social media, and there's probably thousands of them out there. That's true. But you only need to focus on the big 5, because here's the reality. If you got 1,000 different platforms for social media, but 80% of your traffic's coming from 20% of them, then you want to focus your attention on that little 20%, because that's where all the traffic's coming from, okay? So we have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have MySpace, we have YouTube, we have LinkedIn. Now, just to think about this, I want you to understand that they have over 1 billion members altogether, right? Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. 1 billion members altogether. That, my friends, is why it is a global traffic source, okay? You just have to stay concentrated on what we're going to share with you. So things you should know. LinkedIn has over 7.9 million businesses on it, and it has every one of the top 500 Inc. magazine companies ranked are all on LinkedIn, okay? Facebook has a new member every second. There are over 750,000 members right now, okay? They'll be at 1 billion before you know it. Twitter has 3 million tweets per day. So that's a lot of people chatting, right? And here's the one I love the most. YouTube, which is a powerhouse marketer, has 1 million videos watched a day. So every day there's 1 million videos watched. So just think about the power of branding yourself, not just through printed advertisement, but through video advertisement. So a lot of you may think, oh, well, I got to go get a TV commercial and all this. No, not at all. I can show you how to develop your own branding video of your company by using YouTube, and how to embed hidden links in it to drive traffic subconsciously to your website. It's all about automation, baby. And then MySpace. Now, I know a lot of you think about MySpace. It's for kids. Well, it may be a majority population of kids, but here's the best part. It has top page rankings, like a page ranking of 9 the last time I looked. What does that mean? That when we build all of our other social media sites, and we're able to link them together using MySpace as well, we have a powerhouse of backlinks coming through, which links them together and creates a powerful SEO tool. Here's another hidden tool that I teach on an in-depth level that some of you are going to be able to come to in a live event with us and check this out. And it's all about how to use YouTube and MySpace together to create this powerhouse of video search engine ranking, no matter what it is, whether it's just a video of you explaining to people how you help out with golf techniques, or if it's a video of just your company, or if it's a video of testimonials of people that you've helped. There's a power play that we can do using MySpace. So let's go into setting them up, though. See, this is where most people make the mistake when it comes to social media, is they don't set them up correctly, and even the ones that do set up, there's no real branding done with it, okay? So you have to be very professional inside these profiles, where I know a lot of people will put like a picture of, them hanging out with shades on and looking cool, or them on the back of a boat and whatever, and that's okay if that's your personal brand, okay? But if you're branding your company, you want to make sure that you have a logo designed and a logo brand that we're going to be able to influence your social media through that brand and develop a larger brand with it. It's all about branding your images and your profile information. See, I learned very quickly that the profile is where it is. And what do I mean by that? Well, your profile is what gets searched first, okay? So if you have a social media platform going on, they recognize your platform based on your profile first, okay? That's why it's so important to know your keywords in your marketplace, in your niche of professionalism, and use those keywords to enrich your profile. Also, linking one profile to another profile is very powerful too. So when we build out one profile, we will link maybe our Facebook link inside our profile for our YouTube channel. You also want to get into videos and images. That is a huge play, because we can not only link we can not only keyword rich the description of the video, but we can keyword rich the video or the image itself, tagging it, description. There's so much more we can do to create that powerful SEO through our social media, okay? So let me just show you this one. This is my MySpace account, and I know a lot of you are looking at it going, oh my gosh, doesn't look like MySpace, does it? Not at all. Not at all, because we're able to go at it a different level. We're very professional about it. I am branding myself right now, but so you need to have a professional look, whether it's yourself or your company. You're able to go out and do platforms, because most platforms will let you customize them to a certain extent. But to be able to get to where we are, and we obviously do this for a lot of our students, a lot of you on this call right now, we've already customized your platform. You'll need to go out and hire a coder or some type of programmer to be able to come and do this. And it can get very expensive. But, we may have a special gift for a lot of you if you hang with us, because this right here is something that is a must for you. And you need to be able to create that image. So my MySpace is not only a brand of me in the description of who I am, but I also have what's called an opt-in page or landing page on my MySpace page, so that when people go there, I'm giving them something of value so that they give me their information back, so I'm building my client list. Same thing as your other platforms. It's all about branding images. If you notice, I'm branding myself with my main image all the way throughout. So you want to stick in their mind. You know, are you a business that helps backs chiropractic work? Well, maybe your logo or your image is where your brand is, and it's and it's a spinal cord. Well, keep that brand all the way throughout, okay? You want to be likable to these people. It's important to put a smile on your face and get in the image with it, okay? You know, you should be the same on all the platforms that you were in the beginning. Now, LinkedIn is kind of like that hidden social media that most people don't engage with, but I can tell you this, that LinkedIn's, setting up your profile in LinkedIn is by far the $1 million, revenue that you're looking for if you haven't done it correctly, because you're missing out on the opportunity. See, LinkedIn won't even allow you to be searched until you have a 100% completed profile with them, okay? And this is how others will find you once you hit that 100%. The key to LinkedIn is really some key profiles that you have to be aware of. And just let me back up for a minute, and I'll get over to this one. But it's all about the profile, it's all about the recommendations, and it's all about your job history. So make sure you write that down. It's profile, recommendations, and job history. Now, I'll give you some pretty cool insight on all that in just a second. So when you're setting them up, you want to keyword-rich your profile and your page. So use keywords that work. What is your niche? What is your business? What are you trying to grow? Are you trying to put out there a new product on how to help people lose weight? Well, we need to define that message and create the keywords for that. You want to have them everywhere. This is how you'll get searched quickly. So if you look at my profile, one of the things I've done is this, okay, is I use the first name box for my full name, and I use my contact in the last name box. Now, on top of that, what you also want to do is you want to enrich. So I'm an educator in the real estate investing world. So look at how many times I have real estate in my profile. Real estate investor, real estate investing, real estate educator, mentor, coach, and house flipping expert. It is loaded with keywords, and that's why I'm able to get ranked as fast as I am, okay? So the other thing I want to also point out, and I obviously don't have a lot of time to go over YouTube, but YouTube advertising and the ability of marketing using YouTube will blow you away. And I want to share that with you, but I also want to give Mr. Sam Bell his time, or I'll talk all night here, or all day, depending on when you're watching this. So let's talk about linking them together. Now, this is some other techniques that we pull out of the box, is you want a platform to talk from, right? You want one platform. You don't want to have to go to all of them. You want to post one video, and it posts everywhere. So you want to use services like Ping FM and TubeMogul.com and SocialOomp.com and all these other great things that we can do. But the best part is on each one of these, we can go into our activity sharing profile, and we can start linking all of our social medias together. So when we post on one, it posts on all the rest of them. So you want it to like a video, you want it to comment on a video, subscribe to a channel, favorites of a video, upload a video. Well, I want it to link to my Facebook, my MySpace, and my Twitter also, and I can disable it at any time if I don't want them to, but I don't know why you would do that, okay? So let's go over setting them up. Let's go through the review here. Videos and images in your platform. Number one, it's very important to have images tagged with keywords. When you're going to upload a video or an image to your social site, make sure that that video is named with keywords. It's probably named like 5902.img or WMV if it's a video. Well, you want to remove the 592 and you want to put keywords in there like real estate investing, or let's say you're going into the weight loss, like lose weight, 5 pounds fast, weight loss. If you're in the golfing niche, maybe it's, golf, golfer, golfing, things like that. It's very important to have videos and tag them too. You do the same exact approach. This will get you a higher SEO for your site because those images and videos are on those sites. Also, it can help with your backlinks because now, those videos can be on another site where you're pulling that link into one social media site. So now they're linked together and they're creating backlinks. I also want to give you a little quick, advantage here in your market if you're looking for traffic. So if you're going to want to get traffic in a specific niche, in this example I'm using real estate, but let's say you're a dentist or a chiropractor, or you're a pizza delivery company, or you're a massage therapist company, or you're an appraisal company, or you're any other small business. You can do the same thing. And the reason it's important is because if I'm looking for other people in my market to be able to do business with, one of the things I might want to do is look for my specific clientele, right? So as a real estate investor, I'm looking for real estate investors to buy properties from me or bring me properties, okay? So this will bring me a list of buyers in my market. So all I do is type in real estate investor, Sacramento, California. And what will happen is I'll go and click do your thing, and a whole list of people will pop up using Twitter that has this keywords in their tweets or in their profile, and depending on the city they live in, they'll have their city description in there in their profile. So I'll be able to pin down that targeted traffic by city. So that's a powerful tool for you. The other thing you also want to consider is the power of backlinks. So when you're getting into backlinks, you got to think about backlinks are what create SEO. And Sam will explain all of this, okay? And he'll go in a lot of detail on how all this works. But you want to post with links back to your site. So if you're out there on forums and you're in the group sites, and so I'm going around and I'm in the MySpace groups and the LinkedIn groups, I'm putting links back to my other social media. I'm creating backlinks. Upload videos to your MySpace. You'll get a PR8 from that. Websites links in your profile page. We'll link them together. Link your social media pages together, which creates that pinwheel. I call it a power wheel, so that you get powerful SEO using your social media. Putting content on them. Now, let's be clear. A lot of you might get, writer's block on this, but you don't have to be. Talk about what you do. How do you help people? How do you help your clients? Talk about your business, how your business is doing, how your business has specials, how your business helps clients. Talk about your trips. If your business is going on a trip, or if you're branding yourself, talk about yourself. Talk about any deals you have, whether it's a real estate deal or a special deal for your business. Talk about your needs. What is it that you need in the social space? Are you trying to build your power team? Talk about it. Be yourself, okay? It's the most important thing I can tell you here. Just be yourself. So I also want to give you some cool techniques here for putting content on them. So when you go out and you want to start putting content on, say, like your Facebook or your LinkedIn or your MySpace or anything, well, you can find articles on your topic, or you can basically create a 300-word article. You can then submit that to an article spinner, and then you could say, listen, I want 52 articles made out of this 300-word article. Now, yes, this is the lazy way out of it, of course. Obviously, you might want to write your own. But now what you have is you have a 300-word article turned into a 52 articles, okay? Are they going to be similar? Yes. But are they going to be different? Yes. Then you have one article every week to post for a whole year. Now, I would say don't do 52 of them. I would probably write maybe 6 or 12 300-word articles and then spin those like 2 or 3 times. And then the weeks that I don't have articles set up for, I would then write my own, okay, for inside that topic. Now, if you're looking for someone to write these for you, go to odesk.com or elance.com. You can hire a freelance writer for $20 or $30. That's it, to have them done for you. So, guys, I hope you guys get a really good understanding of like an overview of social media. Now, here's what I want you to be very clear on. On the next training that we're going to be doing, part 2 training, I'm going to take you guys all through mobile marketing. Why mobile marketing is so powerful right now, what you need to be doing with mobile marketing, how you need to be implementing mobile marketing, how easy it really is. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. But I'm going to be doing all of that on part 2's training that Sam's going to tell you guys how to get to that next training. So here's what else I want to do. I want to turn it over to Sam Bell right now because he's going to be taking you guys through some really cool stuff about getting traffic, getting into some organic stuff, so that you're able to make that stuff work out on the open platform. So that's going to be powerful for you guys when we start working with all the different traffic sources that are out there. So guys, I want you guys to be ready and open to what Sam's going to be doing. Sam, are you there for us?
I am here and ready to go, my friend.
Awesome, bud. Well, the floor is all yours, my friend.
Excellent, excellent. And folks, Zack did an excellent job of just absolutely laying down the foundation of how you can actually begin using social media to really, really ramp up your branding. Now, what I'm going to do is build on top of what Zack has shared with you, okay, and give you some specific things that you can do and implement to go out there and be successful. And just know, this in and of itself is just the ground floor, okay? But you're going to get some real good stuff that you can go out there and take action on. But when we hold part 2, it's going to get even better, okay? So you definitely want to make sure you stick around for that. So with that said, let me jump right into this. So warning, okay? This is definitely going to help you make more money, generate more leads, and allow you to control your brand name with social media. But there is a little bit of technical information, but if you don't get it, it's okay, because we're going to have the opportunity to spend some more time together where we're going to do a Q&A, so you definitely want to make sure you bring those questions. Now, Zack told you a little bit about me, but for those of you who do not know, just a little bit more. I'm originally from Trenton, New Jersey. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now. I've been a full-time real estate investor since 2005. So I've been out there in the market, and I know what's working, what's not working. I've also been an internet marketer since 2002. So when it comes to the internet, driving traffic, SEO, paid traffic, I'm your guy. I'm also an SEO crackhead according to my Twitter profile. So I actually love this stuff. I research it. I find out what's working, because the internet is such a dynamic place. Okay, it's always growing. It's always changing. It's always going through a constant evolution. So you got to stay on top of that stuff. I'm also social media marketing and Web 2.0 coach to over 2,000 real estate investors nationwide and internationally. So I teach and train and help people to become successful. And that's why Zack and I came together, because we realized that we provide such a synergy when we come together to help people succeed that much faster. I'm also the creator of the Internet Domination Club and co-creator of Real Estate Wealth. Now, enough of that. I think I built the case. Let's jump into this. So what is social SEO? Well, by definition, it's the optimization of your social networking content and profiles to get maximum exposure with the major search engines and generate traffic to your website. Now, Zack gave you a lot of the strategies, and some of that is going to overlap. However, you're going to see how we connect all the dots and how it all flushes out, all right? So let's see here. All right, here we go. So, what we get from this presentation? Well, you're going to get results. You're going to get a plan of action that you or your staff can actually go out there, implement into your business to actually see some true results. And here's just a screenshot of how, when you have good social SEO, how you can actually leverage it for free traffic and easy rankers. As you can see, my Twitter account, my Facebook account, as well as my core URLs for my websites, okay? And it's all due to having good SEO on-site and social SEO. So let's talk about the social SEO structure. You have the setup, you have the traffic, and then you have what I call the ninja or gray hat. So we're going to cover some exciting stuff. Some of it may be new to you, okay? So let's start with the foundation for how we build this thing out. Now, the first step is you want to have a blog, okay? Preferably a self-hosted WordPress blog, all right? Now, the reason that we love WordPress is because the way of its natural design, it is already SEO friendly, okay? Meaning that it makes it very, very easy for the search engines to find and crawl, and that's why Google absolutely loves WordPress. Also, you want to make sure when you have a self-hosted blog that you have a domain name with your keyword in it. Now, this used to carry a lot of weight, a few years ago, maybe not as much, but it's still very, very, very relevant and can make a world of difference, all right? You also want to set up SEO-friendly permalinks. Now, if you don't know what permalinks is or it's over your head, no worry. We'll be able to address a lot of those on the second call, a lot of those questions that you may have. You also want to have some of the top plugins for your blog, okay? And I'm going to share with you some of the plugins that I use. So one of the main plugins is Platinum SEO for on-page search engine optimization. This is an absolute must-have for your WordPress blog because it's going to help you with your on-site SEO without you having to be a total expert, all right? Also, Deep Link Engine for trackback links. I'm going to get a little bit more into what trackback links are and exactly how they work, but just know that is an awesome plugin to have. Also, XML sitemap for the search engines to be able to crawl, spider your site, and get it indexed quickly. All right, so you want to make sure that you're using sitemaps. And Zach talked a little bit about this, but also WordPress Mobi plugin for mobile devices. If people are coming to your WordPress blog and a lot of traffic now is coming from mobile devices, they need to be able to view it without getting all messed up on their screen, and that's how we're able to accomplish that. And Zach's going to discuss that more on our next training webinar. Also, Google Analyticator for analytics. So you want to know what's going on with your website, where the traffic is coming from, how long they're staying, what pages they're looking at, etc. And Google Analytics will allow you to do that. You also want to use the Max BlogPress Ping Optimizer. Now, for those of you who have no idea what this is basically a tool that goes out and tells the search engine spiders every time you update your blog. So that way when you make a new blog post or you post some content, it goes and notifies them and say, hey, I have some new content, come check it out. And it helps get your content indexed quickly within the search engines. Also, Max BlogPress Unblockable Pop-Up. This is a great way to build your email list so that when people come to your blog and they're reading your content, if they're not already on your list, it's a good way to capture leads so that way you can follow up and build relationships with them later on down the line. Also, RSS Bomber for unique RSS feeds for every post. Now, this particular plugin is a premium plugin. It's not free. However, what this does, this creates an RSS feed for every single post that you make. So that way you can syndicate not only the main feed for your blog, but each and every single post. And again, if this is a little over your head, no worries. We'll be able to address a lot of this stuff. But just know you want to get the concept. You want to understand how the stuff works from a big picture standpoint, and then with Mr. Automation, he can share with you how to outsource and have a lot of people go and implement this stuff for you. Also, WordPress Silo Link Structure plugin. And this is just basically going to make sure that the actual linking structure internally within your WordPress site is optimal for the search engines. And this is another premium plugin. It's called Web Traffic Genius, and it actually creates and submits the RSS feeds to the aggregators automatically anytime you make a new blog post. So those are some great plugins that will really, really help boost your website rankings when you're using the WordPress platform. Okay, so that's the first step. Now the second step is the social network setup. So Zach talked about having some of the top social sites. I'm going to share with you a few other sites that you can throw in there. And again, some of this overlaps, but it's important that you understand it because this stuff works, okay? So here are some of the top social networks. Of course, you got Facebook, hands down. It is the main go-to site, okay? You have Twitter. You also have FriendFeed. And MySpace, a lot of people discount MySpace, but like Zach showed you earlier, it still carries a lot of weight and still very, very relevant, and it has a very high page rank, which is why we still leverage MySpace. Zonga, Posterous, LiveJournal. These are all some of the top social networking sites, and some of them you may not have heard of before. However, they are all authority sites that can absolutely help you boost your rankings. Now, here's another strategy that you want to use, and Zach talked about this, so I'm going to dig a little bit deeper in it. But when you are building your social profiles out, you want to make sure you're using keywords. Okay, so if you have a specific keyword that you want to rank for, you can actually use your username when you create the username. So let's say, for example, if your keyword is Dallas investors, okay, well then that's the username you would use, Dallas investors. Okay, you also want to use your keyword as your profile name. Okay, the reason being is that not only does the content that you post on the social networking sites get indexed, but also the profiles and information about who posted that content, all right? And that's why we want to make sure we put our keywords in our username as well as our profile. And you want to make sure that you have a link. Mostly all social networking sites allow you to leave links to your website. So you want to have those links pointing back to your main site or to your main blog. All right, so that's the second step. The third step is video profiles. Okay, so let's talk about some of the top video sites. Now, of course, you have the granddaddy of them all, which is YouTube. It's the one that started it all, but there are also some other second-tier sites that rank very, very well in the search engines and are also great for backlinks. So you have Quigo, Dailymotion, MetaCafe, Vimeo, Vidler, PhotoBucket, TwitVid, and YFrog. Now, some of these you may have never even heard of. However, these video sites rank very, very, very well, in addition to you actually being able to get traffic from the user base that exists on these video sites. And again, you want to use your keywords for your usernames, your keywords for your profiles, and make sure that you have a link back to your blog. Now, there are some different tools out there where you can just syndicate to all of these different video sites, and one of the ones that Zach mentioned earlier is TubeMogul. So you can find a list of all of these different video sharing sites on TubeMogul, and it's also a free service. So it's a great tool to get your content and push it out there and distribute it amongst the search engines. All right. Fourth step, social bookmarking. Okay. Now, social bookmarking, if you're not familiar with it or what exactly it is, just think of it like this. When you visit a web page, sometimes you want to add it to your favorites so that way you can come back and view it at a later time and date. Well, social bookmarking is pretty much the equivalent of adding a website to your favorites. The only difference is that you're sharing your favorite links publicly for other people to see and then also to vote on, so that way those links can get exposure to other people. All right, so you can do this for your links and your content. So let me share with you some of the top social bookmarking sites. So you have Dig, Technorati, Mix, Reddit, Faves, Delicious, who just now got acquired by Yahoo, Jump Tags, Digo, Mr. Wong, I love saying that, Mr. Wong, and Propeller. Okay, now these are some of the top social bookmarking sites. They rank very, very well, and they're also authority-based sites. And the same thing applies. You want to be sure you use your keywords as your username, your keywords as your profiles, and you want to have a link back to your blog. Now, one of the cool things about the social bookmarking aspect of marketing, you can actually automate that, and we do that with a tool called SocialBot. Now, SocialBot is a piece of software. It's not very expensive. I think it's between $25 $30 one-time buy, but it has all of these different sites built into it that will automate the bookmarking process for you. Okay, so you can actually create your account profiles one time, use the software to automate the task, because we want to use automation. Because if you wanted to take the time and manually go do this, you could do so, but it doesn't make sense to do that when you can automate it, and this is a great tool to make that happen. All right, so the fifth step, RSS aggregators. So let me share with you what these aggregators are. All right, now these aggregators go out you can basically take the RSS feeds from your blog and all your different social networking profiles and then syndicate that to the RSS aggregators. And what they'll do is that they'll take that RSS feed, and anyone that wants to define an RSS feed, they basically add it to like a database, okay, of all these different RSS feeds. And you can have your content syndicated all over the internet by leveraging these aggregators. So here's some of the top aggregators to use. FeedAge. FeedAge is a great tool. It is an authority site and it ranks very, very well. PostRank is also another great aggregator. You also have RSS Micro, RSS Mountain, IceRocket, FeedAg, and a lot of people always say, well, FeedAge and FeedAg. Yes, that's not a misspelling. There's actually two different RSS sites where you can submit to. RSS Motron and Bad RSS. Now, these sites, again, you can take all your RSS feeds and syndicate it. So now your content is getting pushed all out through the internet. And again, you can automate this process as well with the tool called RSS Bot. Okay. Now RSS Bot pretty much functions the same way as the social bookmarking software does. The only difference is, as opposed to social bookmarking sites, now it's taking your RSS feeds and submitting and syndicating those to the different RSS aggregators. Okay. So very powerful stuff. Works very well, and something you definitely want to implement into your business. Okay. And the sixth step, as you can see, error there, but hey, not perfect. But look, Zach talked to you about the power wheel. Okay. And I'm going to explain a little bit more in detail about how to connect the dots and make the power wheel work for you. Okay. So basically, here's what you want to do. You want to build out your link wheel, and this is exactly what it looks like. So you have your main site, okay, or your main blog site, and then you have all these other Web 2.0 properties all linking back to your main site. And here's how you want to structure this. You want to have 2 anchor text links per site. What does that mean? That basically means that you're going to have a link on Squidoo. Okay, you're going to have 2 links. The first link is going to point back to your main site, and then the second link is like a chain. It's a link in the chain to the next site. So you're going to have one link that goes to your main site, and then the next link that goes to, say, your WordPress site. All right. So 2 links, 2 anchor text links per site. One link to the blog and one link to the next Web 2.0 property. And here's a list of some of the top Web 2.0 authority sites that are out there. And there are a lot more that go along with this, but these are some of the ones that I've used and I've gotten great results with. Squidoo.com, Weebly.com, WordPress.com, Blogger.com, Quizilla.com, HubPages.com, and Tumblr. Okay, now these are all great Web 2.0 sites where you can go out, create link wheels, and the best part about it is that it's free. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything to go out there and to build these sites, other than if you did it yourself, your time, or if you want to outsource it, you can pay someone to do it. But a very effective strategy to build authority back to your site and help with your rankings. All right, the 6 steps. You want to connect the dots. You want to connect your profiles to content syndication sites, okay? And here's how you do that. Zach mentioned this before. So what you want to do is you want to connect your profiles to Ping FM for small updates with link to the blog. So this is what this means. Basically, you want to be able to, every time you write a blog post, is write a short blurb about that blog post and put a link, okay? Put a link that will be posted on all your social networking sites, all right? And what you can do is you can push that little blurb out, linking back to your blog from all the social networking sites that we've just talked about, all right? You can also connect your profile to PixelPipe for other types of content. So for photos, videos, and bigger types of content pushes, you can leverage PixelPipe for that, all right? And again, a very effective strategy for connecting all the dots with your social media, pushing the content out there, and really being able to leverage all of the social media sites to generate traffic and build your authority as well as your brand. All right. So moving on, the traffic. So we're going to dig a little bit more deeper into article content and syndication, as well as video content and syndication, as well as the social network push, as well as backlink building. Okay, talk about how to get high PR. Okay, so you can see how this all builds on top of each other. Zach laid out the foundation. Now we're digging a little bit deeper, and these are all actionable items that now you have this knowledge you can go out there and take action on. And then when we do part 2 of the call, we'll be able to answer any questions you have. So this is awesome stuff that you're getting, and I've seen people pay thousands and thousands of dollars. So you really want to be paying close attention and taking notes, because this is what's going to help separate you from everyone else that's out there, all right, and give you the edge that you need. All right, so let's jump right into it here. Article creation and syndication. You want to write original articles, okay? Original content articles. And there's an exact process that I use in order to maximize our article writing, all right? So you want to post the original article to your blog first. And here's why. Google has this thing called the duplicate content filter. And basically, you want to be able to identify, Google needs to be able to identify that you were the original publisher of an article. So you want to put that original article on where you want it to get the most love or credit for, okay? So the first place should be is on your blog, all right? Now you can also post that original article to the Web 2.0 link wheels, and now you want to do this after you posted it to your blog, all right? Then what you want to do is take that article, like Zach said, and then spin the original article with an article spinner, all right? And then you can actually take that article and syndicate that article to a blog, to your blog network with anchor text. So you want to have links within the content pointing back to your other Web 2.0 sites as well as to your main site. All right. You can also syndicate the spun article to article directories. So there are article directory services where you can go out and syndicate that content and push it to hundreds, if not thousands, of article directories all over the internet. Now, there's a way you can outsource this. There's a service called SEO Article Writing Service, and they charge about $10 per article. And there's some other services where you can get some other articles written as well. So there's a lot of different places out there, but that's one I just wanted to share with you. Now, here's how you can automate your article syndication process. The first service is called articlemarketingautomation.com. Now, with Article Marketing Automation, it's not a free service, okay? They do charge a monthly fee, but it is a network of blog sites that allow people to put content onto those sites, and in exchange for the free content that they get, you get to have a link coming from those different sites, all right? The second alternative is Unique Article Wizard. Now, Unique Article Wizard is an article syndication site that specifically focuses on the article directories, okay? And again, this is a premium service. It's not free, but it's also a very effective service that has been working for quite some time and gets results, okay? So we're sharing stuff with you that, you know, we've tested, that we've went out there, that we've done, and we're speaking strictly from an implementation standpoint, meaning that we've gone out there, we tested it, so we know that it works, okay? So let's move on to the next thing, which is video creation and syndication. All right, and here's the different steps. You want to release content videos, okay? So videos that you might have from boot camps, webinars, seminars, any videos you put together, whatever it is, all right? And then you want to have your video run and engage the visitor. Okay, you want to get your people engaged. When people watch your videos, they need to be engaged into the content that's being presented on that video. Now, let me share with you a little strategy of how you can get those individuals to come to your website for the full amount of that video to actually increase the traffic that you get from your video syndication. And you do that with what we call a pattern interrupt in the video. Okay, and here's how we get away with it. You cut the video midpoint. So let's say the video is really 20 minutes long, but you can really only upload 10 minutes of the video. A lot of the video sharing sites, they have a limit on how long the videos can be. So what you do is you start the video and you let people get maybe 5 minutes into the video, and then you just cut the video and say, hey, sorry, unfortunately I could not play the whole video because of the length of it. However, if you want to get the full content training of this video, click on the link below and go to this site. So now that way you can push all of those viewers to your website, all right? So you want to be sure that you put the URL in the description of your video in order to have those visitors go there. And it needs to be specifically in this format, okay? It has to be http:// www. Whatever your URL is. And the reason being is if you do not have that HTTP in there, it will not create a clickable hyperlink, okay? It will not create a clickable hyperlink. So be sure that you put that in there. And again, always use your keywords in your title, in your description, and your tags. Just re-emphasizing what Zach already shared with you, but it's very, very important that you do that if you want to maximize the effectiveness of your video process. All right. So the next step, content and update push. So you want to post content to the blog. You want to push the update to Ping FM with a call to action and a link back to the blog. All right, and you can push the full content blurbs to all the different blogging platforms through PixelPipe with links back to the blog. All right, so you see how this is all starting to come together and how it all works interchangeably, how you can all just connect all the dots. You're taking all these different pieces and you're connecting all the dots, and it's all leading back to your website to maximize your traffic. All right. Next, you are bookmarking and using the RSS feeds. Okay, so you want to bookmark. Okay, you want to social bookmark and syndicate your content. You want to bookmark your link wheel sites. Okay, remember the link wheels that we show you? Is that call them the power wheels? You want to bookmark those. You also want to bookmark your main blog. All right, you want to bookmark your main blog, and you want to submit your RSS feeds from your blogs with the unique posts. You also want to submit the RSS feeds from your link wheel sites as well, okay? Because this allows not only for your blog content to get syndicated, but also the content that you're putting out there on the second tier Web 2.0 properties from your link wheel allows that content to get syndicated as well, all right? So now let's talk about backlinks, all right? Let's talk about building your backlinks. Now, you want to be able to get one-way quality backlinks on autopilot, and I'm going to share with you a way to do that in the tool that I've used that has effectively done that. All right, and that tool is called Neurolinker.com. Now, with Neurolinker, basically it builds one-way backlinks from other websites to your website. Why is this important? Well, back in the day when people realized that backlinks played such an important role, people used to do what they call reciprocal link exchanges. So that means I link to you, and you link to me. Well, Google caught on to that, and that really doesn't work anymore. It doesn't have the same effectiveness. So what you want to get is one-way backlink where someone just links to you and you don't not have another outgoing link. So that way that link juice isn't canceled out, if that makes sense. All right. You also want to get authority backlinks, specifically from .edu and .government sites. Okay. Now I know you may be thinking, well, how the heck am I going to get edu to link back to me, or how am I going to get the government to link back to me? And here's how you can do it. It's a very specific piece of code, and when I say code, it's just some text that you're going to type into the search engine. So here it is. So to find government backlinks, you want to type in site:/.gov space in URL :forum_ID. And what this does is it's going to pull up all of the .gov sites that have forum_ID in the URL. And what this will allow you to do is to identify forums on government hosted sites where you can go in, create a forum profile, or leave a forum comment with your link, and now you have effectively gotten a link from a .government site. It's a very ninja strategy, but it works like like nobody's business. This is very, very effective. You just want to go out there and implement it, okay? The same thing applies for .edu sites. The only difference is instead of typing in .gov, you're going to type in .edu. Okay. Now, there's also a website that you can go to that will help with this process, and that website is called Drop My Link, and it automatically does that for you. So you can either just type this in manually, or you can go to dropmylink.com, and you will be able to find all the .gov and .edu sites that you want to leave links on. All right. You can also get links from wiki sites. Okay, niche wiki backlinks. Okay, and you're able to accomplish this through wikia.com. Okay, now Wikia is the equivalent of Wikipedia. However, instead of one big site, it's broken down into specific niches. So you have a wiki for just about anything you can think about. All right, And basically what you want to do is edit the wiki with your anchor text backlink to your article content. Okay, so when you so basically just like Wikipedia, you leave some content, or you leave a resource on there, and you put your URL as that resource. All right. So I know we covered a lot of information, and I know your head may be spinning, but again, that is okay, because when we get on our second call, we'll be able to answer a lot of the questions for you. But we wanted to make sure that we were able to get the content and the training to you that's going to allow you to go out there and be successful. So let's just recap. What did you just do? Well, you set up your main SEO blog for content and leads. Then you created your main social networking sites. You set up your video profiles. You also set up your social bookmarking. Next, you set up your RSS aggregator profiles. You set up your Web 2.0 link wheel. And then you connected the dots with Ping FM and PixelPipe. Then we created our article and video content. And then we syndicated that content through the article and video submission process using services such as TubeMogul, Traffic Geyser, etc. Then we pushed the social media updates, and then we bookmarked all the content and submitted all the RSS feeds to the aggregators, and we built backlinks. That is the process, okay, that we just went through, and this is what's going to absolutely allow you to dominate. No one is really teaching this stuff, okay, and let alone giving you a step-by-step process to go out there and implement, or have someone else implement for you, so that way you can have the success that you deserve. All right, so now let's get into a few of the ninja strategies. All right, we covered some good stuff, but I got some more ninja stuff to share with you, so let's jump right into it. So here's the ninja. We're going to talk about RSS mashups. We're going to talk about Facebook SEO, Twitter SEO, track backlinking, and retargeting. Okay, retargeting. All right, so a lot of good stuff. So let's jump right into this. First thing, RSS mashups. Basically with this, what you want to do is you want to combine your RSS feeds. All right, you're going to combine your video RSS feeds. You're going to combine your RSS feeds from link wheels, and you're going to combine your RSS leads from social networks. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to submit these RSS feeds to the aggregators. Now here is the site that you need to go to. The site is xfruits.com. Okay, that's xfruits.com, the letter X, FRUITS.com. And xfruits will allow you to combine RSS feeds from multiple different sites into one unique RSS feed. So now, not only can you syndicate your content as individual feeds, but you can create a super feed, if you will, and syndicate that in multiple times as well. So it's a very, very, very powerful strategy, very ninja strategy that a lot of people really aren't sharing, all right? But once you go out there and you implement this, you'll be in the top 1% of people who understand this information and know how to apply the information in such a way that's going to get them results, okay? Because this is a result-oriented training, and I told you that's what you're going to get, results. So using these strategies, that's what's going to make that happen, all right? The next ninja strategy, Facebook SEO. So basically you want to build a Facebook fan page squeeze page. Now, Facebook switched from FBML to iframes. So now what you can do is you can build a iframe squeeze page, okay, right on Facebook. And then what you want to do is you can drive traffic to that with Facebook ads to increase your likes. But here's the ninja strategy. What you do is once you get enough likes, okay, where you can have a keyword branded URL, which is a minimum of 25 likes, okay, so you get 25 likes, then now you can actually have a keyword branded URL. You can actually take that URL for your fan page, okay, and convert it into an RSS feed, all right, and here's how you do that. You're going to use feededge.com HTML to RSS. Now, if you don't know what this means, again, no worries, but this is the ninja stuff that is absolutely killer, okay? You're going to take that URL, convert it to an RSS feed, and now you're going to submit your RSS feed through the aggregators. What is this going to do for you? Well, one, it's going to help your fan page get backlinks. Two, is going to help your fan page get indexed and show up in the search engine much, much faster than if it had to happen over a long period of time. So very, very effective strategy, and it's absolutely killer. You just got to go out there and implement. All right, implement. The next step, trackback link building. So now you want to be able to build backlinks through trackback URLs. Well, what the heck is a trackback? Well, this is how it works. When you write a blog post on your blog, and let's say you reference another some other content on another blog site, and you put a link to that blog in your post, then what your blog will do is notify the blog that you talked about and said, hey, I left some information on here and I linked back to you, so I'm going to ping back the original source of the content. All right. Now, this can be done manually, but is much more effective with a software to automate the process. Now, there are a lot of different software tools out there, but there are two specifically that I've personally used and that I've gotten good results with. And those two, the first one is the Trackback Spider. This is a software package. I'm not exactly sure what the price is now because it's changed some, but it's a software package that automates the trackback link building process for you. The second one is the SEO Trackback Suite. Now, the SEO Trackback Suite is, I think, is the least expensive one, but it's very effective. It has a few moving parts, and it does have a learning curve. However, it is the ninja strategy that a lot of people they're just not using, but it's absolutely killer. Absolutely killer. All right? So now let's move on to Twitter for SEO. All right? So you want to make sure you have a Twitter account with your keyword in the URL. Okay? You see how we keep talking about keywords? That is absolutely critical. Use your keywords. You want to set up a social oomph account for auto follow. Okay, this automates the following process. So that way when someone follows you, you can automatically follow them back, as well as unfollow people over a period of time. If people don't follow you or they stop following you, then you have the ability to stop following them. All right. You can also set up auto content with Twitter feed. So basically, you can actually set up content to post to your Twitter account on autopilot. So you can actually take your RSS feeds, put them in a Twitter feed, and then it will update your Twitter account through those RSS feeds. So every time that RSS feed gets updated, anytime you post new content, will automatically syndicate to your Twitter account. All right. Again, insert blog feeds, mashup feeds, whatever you want to into Twitter feed. And then you want to syndicate your Twitter URL with RSS aggregators, because Twitter also provides an RSS feed. Okay, so once you have your Twitter account profile set up and you start posting content, you can now take your Twitter RSS feed and then syndicate that and help get your content indexed faster. Okay, and then any links that you have in your Twitter post, guess what's also going to happen? Those links are going to get indexed and crawled as well. So it's a very effective ninja strategy. Again, not a lot of people using or teaching this stuff, but this is the stuff that we've tested and we've implemented, and we know that it absolutely works. Okay, absolutely works. All right, so here is the last strategy, and this is very, very powerful strategy. This is not so much SEO, but it's something that I think is very relevant because a lot of people, they want to know how it works, okay? And that is retarget everything. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, have you ever been to a website and you left that website and you went to a few different other websites and you noticed that there's ads popping up for that same website you just visited all over the place? It just seems like the ads are stalking you. Have you ever had that happen before? Well, let me explain how that works and exactly what that is. When someone clicks on your ad, all right, so let's say if you went to a website and you visited a website or you clicked on an ad, a cookie is placed on your browser. All right, now what happens is now they say, okay, this person visited my website but did not take a specific action. Maybe that action was to opt into a squeeze page or buy a product or whatever the action is. If they did not trigger that action, then what happens is your cookie with the retargeter code, okay? So that way, when you visit any other sites that, and I'm specifically talking about Google AdWords here, when you visit another site on Google, okay, and that site belongs to Google's content network, or as it's known now as the display network, you'll see that ad continue to show up until you take a specific action. Now here's the ninja trick. You can take that retargeting code and put it within a pixel image, okay? And now you can place that retargeting code everywhere. All right, so you can put it, on your blog, you can put it on your Facebook fan pages, you can put it on your landing pages, anywhere you have traffic coming in. you can be cooking people so that way your ads can stalk them all around the internet, so that way you can force them into your funnel, force them into a process, so that way you can now begin to build the relationship. All right, and this is how you're really going to get your message seen by the masses and make you look like a much bigger organization or company than you may be. Now, again, this is an advanced strategy, but this is the type of stuff that Zack and I share, okay? And I know that you got a lot of good information out of this, so Zack and I are going to be putting on another webinar, and you want to make sure that you attend this training, okay? Now, what you need to do in order to attend this training is you want to go to samandzack.com. That's samandzack.com, and you'll be able to register for the next training. And Zack, I cannot stress how important it is that they come to this next one, because this is where we're going to be providing and answering questions. This is going to be a live Q&A.
It is. And Sam, I mean, we've been on this now for a little over an hour, and obviously we can't get everything out in a reasonable amount of time, so we had to break this up into 2 trainings. So, guys, you love this. You love what Sam delivered, and I'm even going to go another step further, and in part 2, I'm going to break down all about mobile marketing, and then that's where you're going to be able to see a whole other side, maybe not internet marketing, but a whole other untapped niche for generating traffic. So guys, go to samandzack.com right now, get registered for part 2 of this training. The best part is I know you have a ton of questions, and we're going to answer those questions on part 2's training. So
Absolutely. Zack, this has been phenomenal. I definitely believe we've given a lot of content, a lot of information, but you and I both know there's a lot more in store. So I'm excited to see everyone on the next call.
Me too. And guys, go ahead, take action right now. Get on part 2. Listen, you see what's going on. We're just giving you everything we got here because why? Because you guys need to know that the internet and getting traffic is not as difficult as you think it is. We're exposing all of that. And we're going to give you an opportunity to ask us direct questions and be able to get your answers, and that's what it's all about. Me and Sam will be there. We'll stay on until we get all the questions answered. So, guys, get registered right now. We'll see you on the next training, and take action on what you've already learned.
Absolutely. Take action, folks. Definitely look forward to the next call. It's going to be bigger, better. We got a lot more in store for you. And again, at the end of the day, this is the type of information that's going to help you get the results that you truly desire. Okay? Because I know there's a lot of misinformation out there, and Zack and I are only going to bring to you what we know works and is going to help put money in your pocket. And these are the strategies, the cutting edge techniques that are going to do so. So head over to samandzack.com, get registered, and I look forward to seeing you on the next call.
Absolutely. Sam, I'll see you on that call too. And ladies and gentlemen, good luck. You're in a right spot right now. There's never been a perfect time to take action. What you're going to learn and what you've already learned is just the tip of the iceberg of how powerful you can actually take your business and get all the traffic you'll ever need. We'll see you on the other call.